Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hello, dear students. I hope you all are fine and safe. So, students, in our last module, we studied half of the part of Yonamine and Bushi, and now we are going to study the further part. Let us see. Many promising young wrestlers tried their hand, but Yonamine defeated them all. Her father was in despair. Young men wanted to marry girls who would cook and wash and make tea for their husbands. Who would marry a girl who enjoyed wrestlings? Now, what the paragraph is telling us that there were many young wrestlers who tried their hand and they tried to fight with Yonamine, but eventually they all were defeated by Yonamine. So now her father was very worried that the culture, right? That men don't give importance to strong opinionated women or strong women. So he was worried about that, and he was very worried that who will marry her. She is such a strong lady and she plays wrestling, and every one of us or every one of the people, like the wives who do the household works or just serve them till the eternity. Bushi Kyo was just such a man. He had trained under the karate master Sakugawa. He proved to be such an expert that he was recruited by Shoko, the king of Okinawa, to be his personal guard. Now here enters Bushi Kyo. Okay, his name is Bushi Kyo, another man who was well trained. Yes, he was very well trained, and his master was Sakugawa. Now this Bushi Kyo was the guard of the king of Okinawa. He was his personal guard. We kept bodyguards and all. So this king of Okinawa has kept Bushi Kyo as his guard. His friend said to Bushi, "You should take on the challenge of this girl, Yonamine. She may be big, but you are stronger and smarter than her." Bushi too was keen to marry a girl like Yonamine. He did not want a delicate, fragile girl for a wife. "I shall fight with her and win over her," he decided. Now, the friends of Bushi, they gave Bushi an idea of fighting with the Yonamine and just take on the challenge to fight with Yonamine. Okay. Also, Bushi was very interested to fight with Yonamine because he wanted a wife who is strong and who is not a delicate. Delicate means nazuk, yes, and fragile. So that means delicate. Okay. So this person also wants a very strong woman like Yonamine. So he was very keen about the fight. Yonamine was impressed at the sight of her new challenger. She had heard that he was one of King Shoko's personal warriors. He was tall and slim. He stood firmly on his feet and seemed unshakable. Above all, he had dark, piercing eyes which looked straight at the opponent and showed that he was fearless and straightforward. Now, this Yonamine and Bushi, yes, Bushi Kyo, they are now in the fight. And when Yonamine heard that yes, someone is interested to fight with her again, so that time she also felt very impressed that yes, someone is new, someone is very interested to fight with me. Now this person, Bushi, now how his description is given to us that he is the Shoko's very personal warrior. Also, he was tall. Yes, he was a very good heighted man. He was tall and slim. Okay. Also, when he went to fight, he stood firmly. Firmly means in a straight position, erect. Okay. And his piercing eyes, his eyes were pierced, and he was just looking at his opponent. Opponent means the challenger. Okay. And he used to look with such a great sight that the person on his opponent used to think that yes, he is fearless. The wrestling match began. Yonamine and Bushi bowed to each other and then began to attack each other in earnest. They punched, kicked, and twisted using their best techniques. It looked as if the match was going to be a tie, nobody winning, nobody losing. Now, both of them were so fearless and were so good in their techniques that both of them were giving equal competition to each other. And everyone, the viewers, were thinking that no, today this match is going to be a tie because both of them were putting their equal efforts in the fight. But a crucial moment in the fight, Yonamine paused ever so briefly. Bushi took advantage of the moment and brought her down with a swift punch. But what happened in between the fight is Yonamine just paused. Yes, she just paused. She got blanked and she just paused for a second. No movement, no action. And this Bushi took advantage of the situation and he just punched her face and fell her down. Yonamine's father was a very happy man. Bushi and Yonamine were married in a splendid ceremony. It was a happy marriage. Yonamine was kind and loving. She cooked and cleaned and kept the house spick and span. One day when she was sweeping the kitchen, Bushi saw her lift a huge bag of rice with her left hand and she swept beneath the bag with her right hand. He grew thoughtful. Is she really so strong? And yet I brought her down with one punch? Okay. Now, as you know, that Yonamine paused and Bushi took advantage of that moment. Also, he punched her and he was official winner of that match. So, as per the challenge, Yonamine will marry the man who defeats her. So, the only person who was so excited and so happy with this was the Yonamine's father. And they got married to each other with a very splendid ceremony, very nice ceremony. And once they got married, Yonamine was a very good example of a good wife. She used to do all the household chores, she used to do cleaning, she used to do cooking, and everything which a good wife does. So one day when Yonamine was sweeping, yes, that time there was a bag which was literally heavy, and she just picked up that bag with her left hand and in her right hand there was the broom and she just kept sweeping. So after Bushi saw this incident, he was like, is she really so strong? And I just brought her down with a punch. Yes, he was thinking about that. One day, Yonamine announced that she would like to visit her parents. I will leave in the evening and return the next day. It's time to cook your dinner, she said to her husband. Now, when it was the time to cook the dinner, Yonamine announced or she informed her husband that I am going to my parents' place tomorrow. I am going to visit them and what she said that I will leave in the evening and return the next day. So she was going to stay there. Okay. So she told that to her husband. You really should not travel during the night, Bushi said to her firmly. There are bandits about. It is just not safe for a woman to go out alone after it is dark. Now Bushi, he placed an opinion against her that no, you should not travel at night because it is not safe for women to go out at night. Yes. So he was just being a concerned husband and asking her not to go after it's dark. My dear husband, you forget that you are married a trained wrestler, Yonamine said to him with a smile. Then she replied him with a smile that, my dear husband, did you forget that you have been marrying a woman who is strong and who has defeated all the men in spite you? Don't forget that I threw you down flat on the ground, said Bushi. You are not unbeatable. Now what Bushi replies her? That don't okay, you are that strong, you are that fearless, we know that. But don't forget that I have put you down. So it is not like you are unbeatable, that no one can defeat you. Don't worry, said Yonamine. Bandits are not as skilled as you are. I can take care of myself. Now, bandits are the person who rob or who do bad things to women. So Bush, just Yonamine replied Bushi that don't, okay, it's not that about that. Bandits are not as skilled as you. You are a trainer, yes, you have taken training with such a master. So bandits have not taken any training and they are not that strong, and I can defeat them very easily. Okay. So students, I think we need to stop here. This story is very interesting, and the other part we'll take in the next module. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.